This is my sample blended learning lesson. I have several of these I've made so far, and this is how they work. This is a sample. I used Google Sites for this, and I saw this example in the blended classroom PD that we did the very first week, where the lesson samples that we were shown in the videos were from, I think, Modern Classroom, a website where they use this format. So I liked this format because you can move back and forth between real class and virtual class, hopefully, theoretically, seamlessly. So what the kids would see is the lesson, what it is, the learning targets for the lesson, and how long the lesson should take for them to do. So this is self-paced. So I haven't decided quite yet what I'm going to do for kids who take longer than 3 days, or kids that are finished really quickly. Like those advanced learners, I don't have a plan for that yet. But what I do have here is this format here of here's what's going to be in this lesson. Things that they must do, things that they should do. And there's another category that I don't have in here, which is that aspire to category. So kids who are, really achieving high and really want something extra to do, that they have something here for that. Things that are bold are the things they're going to turn in. So we just start off here with this is kind of not a fully collaborative activity, but something where they're going to take a picture of their scientist, and then we will use this drawing in a group class discussion to schedule time, TBA. So I have that so that if I was in class, I would have everybody hold up their pictures or look at them in small groups. But if I'm virtual, then we can do the same thing by sharing in a small group on Teams. So then we're going through the scientific method. Right here, they can log right into a Nearpod. This Nearpod I do have set up so that the kids, there's like audio to the slides. So like you're hearing now, the kids can go through and do the slides, but then there's like little audio explanations. And then the very last slide tells them, as reminded here, that there's a question in Schoology. Now this is highly editable. And so that if I don't know if I can click on, if I edit this, it's like in real time, I can take off the last slide and go back to the in-class activity that I had originally for this particular Nearpod. So, and as you can see, the kids can go right through this Nearpod right within this, this Google site. Then we have an introduction video that's me talking about the difference between observation and inference, and then a reading on vaccines. And there's what I've done is do an answers so that as they're going through the video, there's like little instructions on the worksheet that they have. They have a worksheet inside. That's my dog. They have a worksheet inside that we've handed them. They have this. I'm messing up because the dog. They have a copy of this worksheet in their science workbook, which we're handing them at school. And then this is me going over the answers to them. So what that allows me to do is to either go over it with them kind of on this level first, and those kids who are still kind of stuck, it really narrows down who I need to specifically get with individually on Teams. Or kids who are perfectly fine with doing this and checking their answers and get just fine themselves, they have that option. So it gives me a little bit of personalization there. This is the next little instruction where they're going to use this document to create a T-chart. So they're going to do this T-chart on a piece of paper and then submit that. And then it's just an extra reading. Then we have kind of a bonus. This was the should do, and this is 2 different Sherlock Holmes clips showing how Sherlock Holmes in the Sherlock BBC video made a bunch of inferences. And then in this section, that I don't know why that looks like that, that's me explaining. He goes through all of the observations he used to make the inferences. So that was just like, that's what a should do was. It's just like a little bit of extra if you want some extra further explanation. Then here's another inference and observation, like, assessment, kind of check yourself. And then we have stop, don't forget to do the Schoology assessment on this. And then we have the final kind of assessment for this whole unit, which is now they're going to look at bad science and figure out how to make it good science. So I have these kinds of lessons. They're all kind of the same format, but some of them I have more collaborative and hopefully more collaborative. I'm finding that it's easier to put some collaborative stuff in my history lessons. So I'll have to work on that too. But this is what I've got for the blended learning, and I have 6 lessons here so far. It does take a lot of front loading, but I'm hoping that that will pay off. So that was this lesson. I'd be glad for any suggestions that you have. Thanks.